This is Mecha and you're going to like this one. One Piece, the anime and series you know and love. I really like anime and have been told many times about it, but haven't seen it because it has more than 1000 chapters. But since the live action came out, I decided to watch the 8 episodes and of course it was amazing. However, since chapter 1, I knew what I wanted to make. Luffy's rubber arm. Now the question is, how to do it. We know it can stretch with a movement of the arm, right? So there are a couple of mechanisms that can be helpful. First of them is a telescopic slider that appears on this side, which I will link below. For that, we will use a couple of bearings, some strings, maybe a motor in my arm. You know, it's getting a little bit more complicated for my taste. So for now, let's leave this one as an option number 1. Okay, let's see what else we can do. These are telescopic sliders. You can get them on AliExpress, but also looks too complex since they could require a compressor. Maybe we could use a mini CO2 pump. You know what? After seeing this image, I think I have a better idea. There are many swords and daggers, for example, from Star Wars toys, that can extend and retract. So maybe I believe that is the way to go. The simpler the better. For testing, I will design the first layers with the thickness of an arm and see how that goes. Okay, I just had to stop the printer before it finishes. You can even see they didn't reach the distance to stick together. And the reason I stopped it is that right off the gate, I can see this is too bulky. Therefore, it could be hard to carry around, and because it's too heavy, after extending and retracting a couple of times, the whole thing can break. So I will follow this strategy, but I'll just make it a lot thinner. Still thicker than a sword, but not even close to it. The way this works is, the bottom of the cylinder on the inside has a bigger size than the top of the one outside, meaning that the inner one can only extend until there's no more space. And of course the same goes with the rest. There are still a couple of problems to solve, like how am I going to hold this, how many layers do I have to make to reach a decent length, etc. But let's go one problem at a time. I will start by printing this new version. The extendable part is ready and they assemble by placing one inside the other like this, checking if it works properly, and yeah, it works. It does struggle to retract though, but something should fix that. I need to be careful. If I turn this upside down, everything falls apart. I think I can just hold it like this. I just need to see how I'm going to keep this from disassembly, and also how I can hold a hand at the end. It does extend very easily, but when I bring it back, okay, first I will sand everything and then I will glue it back together. Cylinders of the arm are sanded and glued. The movement feels a lot more fluent. And the retraction as well. How about we make a practical test? Nice. Perfect. Before I break everything, I need to make something that covers the bottom of the whole thing. This is what I'm going to place at the bottom of the biggest cylinder. Now let me improve it. There you go. I added rubbers to absorb the impact when the arm retracts. I am going to assemble this with screws, so if something breaks, I'm able to open this up and fix it, without having to cut or break something else. Now this is too thin to look like an arm after just some paint, so we need to cover this up with fabric. I will do that later. For the hand, I will go with this glove that can be found on any pharmacy. Lightweight and can be stuffed. If you have gloves, maybe you can use that as well. And now I just need to make a connection between the glove and the rest of the arm. So basically a wrist. While that is printing, we can go ahead and stuff the glove. I will use paper and make a fist shape using glue. I'm sure this is not going to look like a normal hand, but that's okay. I think I have skin-like color around, not even close. Maybe this one is fine. Even though this is metallic paint, it's the closest I have. By the way, this is Orisa's cannon from Overwatch. Here's the link to that video if you haven't seen it yet. It's decided, I will use this paint with airbrush, but first, primer. That is not how my hand looks like, man. It's okay, I guess. If you wanna make fun of the hand in the comments, it's fine. Alright, our wrist is ready. I also added rubber at the bottom, so when it retracts, it won't hit any cylinders of the arm too hard. This is the fabric that is going to cover everything up. I tried to match the red of Luffy's jacket, and I will sew everything with this red string, which will come out awful, but I just need to make this work, not look super pretty. I could use this fabric glue to attach it, but it takes 24 hours to dry, and I don't want to wait that long. We have all the parts of our arm and we can put everything together. If you're enjoying the video so far, take the second it takes to leave a like, it really helps. Now to the final assembly. First, I'm going to place the base to prevent the cylinders from falling. Then I need to put the knot of the glove on this area of the wrist to keep it in place. This around also prevents the hand to move around too much. And after I remove the excess of material, it will attach to the arm with a little glue. Finally, let's cover the arm with the fabric. See this canal over here? This is so we can put rubber bands or strings around it and keep the fabric in place. The other end can go under the clothes. And it is done. And of course I made two, one for each arm. Let's try them out. They work better than I thought. I could even use them for cosplays or Halloween, and they are also a lot of fun to play with, to be honest. If you ask me, I like them better without the fabric because I can see the mechanics under it. I really like how you can stretch a little bit or a lot. If I could find a way to spread the fabric evenly so it doesn't hug too much, that would be an improvement. But I hope you like them as much as I do. And if you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one.